because 2 fingers is 4 centimeters. Consequently, if you will multiply it, it will be 8 centimeters. I think it's understandable. Along these epicondyles, you provided 2 longitudinal lines, you will divide the region into anterior and into posterior region. Very quickly, but less. Again, I will try to give it together, yet due to the deficit of the time. Skin. Anteriorly skin is thick, posteriorly thick. Anteriorly skin is smooth, posteriorly rough. Anteriorly skin contains glands, posteriorly no. Anteriorly skin is approximately non-pigmentated, posteriorly gray pigmentated. Generally, by the way, it is also a rule. In the flexion surface of our joints, skin is not smooth, skin is dry, skin doesn't contain hairs and glands. Why? To prevent inflammations, guys. If in the flexion surface we will have swelling, work of the joints will be impossible. That's why this is, we can say, even evolutional achievement. Subcutaneous fatty tissue anteriorly would develop, posteriorly not. By the way, posteriorly we have synovial bruises. Inside of the fatty tissue here, in anterior region, we have basilic and cephalic and different kind of the junctions. Now hold your hand to me. Now imagine that he is basilic and cephalic. And we make junction little bit descending, M shape. He gives the mediana basilica, I give the mediana cephalica, and from jointing point of our fingers, mediana antebrachium, new vein will be started. It will be projected strongly by midpoint of the forearm region. Now you remove your hand. Now I will make only one junction. I forms the mediana cubiti vein. Doesn't matter, he or me, we will join to each other. But here, no any new vein will not be formed. It is H-shaped form of junction. Previous one is M-shaped form of the junction. Is it necessary to draw, or you understand? Oh, for most clever persons, I can draw the letters. Generally, remember. Inside of fatty tissue, also we have the nerves. By the way, medially, antebrachiomedialis, laterally, antebrachiolaterales, posteriorly, antebrachiposterior. All of them, I described it before, all of them come from our region. Superficial fascia, forget about it. Proprioception. Very important structure, guys. Anteriorly, it is very thick in the midpoint of the region and thinner in the medial and lateral sides. Why mid-sided thick? Because it fuses with the tendon of biceps muscle and it forms the aponeurotical, non-transparent, very thick structure which we call lacertum fibrosum. Under of this lacertum, under the proprioception, there are 3 group of muscles, like my 3 fingers, which I put now in anterior cubital region. Medial group, my 4th finger. It is the tendon of flexors, which after descending to anterior forearm. Lateral group, it is supinator and extensors, which goes to posterior forearm. My 3rd finger, middle group, it is tendon of biceps and brachialis. Of course, guys, it's not hard mathematics to understand that between 3 groups I will have 2 grooves. This one I will call anterior medial groove. That one I will call anterior lateral groove. In both grooves I have neurovascular bundle. In anterior medial groove I have brachial neurovascular bundle, which has come from our arteria vena brachialis, nervus medialis. Nerve is located medially to the artery. By this groove, it is come to the midpoint of our cubital fossa. 1 centimeter below it, it gives the bifurcation. In the medial side, ulnar artery, in the lateral side, radial artery. What is located in the anterior lateral groove? Nervus radialis, arteria vena collateralis radialis. Inside of anterior lateral groove, biggest branch of plexus brachialis is finished. Here it is split into 2 terminal branches. Ramus superficialis nervi radialis, ramus profundus nervi radialis. Ramus superficialis comes to anterior forearm, ramus profundus goes to posterior. By the way, ramus profundus nervi radialis has 2nd name also, nervus interosseus posterior. because it passed with posterior interossal vessels. Once again, and let's make conclusion. Under the proper fascia of anterior cubital region, there are three groups of muscles. Between these three groups of muscles, there are two grooves. In each groove, there are neuromuscular bundles. In anterior medial, it is the brachial bundle. In anterior lateral, it is a radial bundle. Now let's come to the back. Under the proper fascia, there are two osteofacial canals, medial and lateral. Medial located medially to olecranon, lateral located laterally. Musculus anca-nails cover these structures. Inside of the lateral, we don't have anything except loose connective tissue. Surgically, it is used to make the punctures of the cubital joint. We call it fossa pulchnitudinea because here we can palpate it, the head of the radius bone. Much more important for us, the medial, posterior medial. Why is it so important? Because it contains the ulnar neurovascular structures, bundle, ulnar nerve, and collateral ulnar superior vessels. Trace of formation of anastomosis. Finally, guys, if you attentively listen to me, I think you understand that in arm region we have two neurovascular bundles. This is the radial one and brachial one. In cubital region, two we have in anterior, one we have in posterior. And finally, in border between cubital and forearm, as you see, 5 neurovascular bundles is formed. Which 5s? Ulnar, radial, anterior interossal, posterior interossal, and last one it is medianus. What does it mean, medianus? Now imagine that he is anterior interossal artery. I am nervus medianus. We are alone. Let's say he gives for me arterial branch, I give for him the nervous branch, and two neurovascular bundles. He gives me arteria mediana. We change by the branches. Yeah? I give for him the nervus interosseus anterior. And what is important, guys, from these 5 neurovascular bundles which I mentioned, 4 will come to anterior forearm, which ulnar, radial, anterior interossal, medianus. 1 will go to the posterior forearm, it is posterior interossal. We come to the next region of upper extremity, that is the forearm region, and that's usually borders. Upper border, it is same lower border of cubital region. Lower border is not hard. You completed the styloid process of your radius, and 1 finger above the base of 2 centimeters, you provided circular line. 1 circular line up, 1 circular line down. Now make the division into anterior and posterior, from medial epicondyle to pisiformis, from lateral epicondyle to tip of the radius. Anterior region, posterior region. Specificity of the forearm region. You know, skin, fat, absolutely same to the arm. The more medial, the more thinner, the more lateral, the more thicker. In the fatty tissue, by the way, same cephalic and basilic, the same skin nerves, medially antebrachiomedialis, laterally antebrachiolaterales, which is continuation of why you move your head if you don't? Musculocutaneous, breathe it. 100 times I say that nervus musculocutaneous goes to down and become to nervus cutaneous antebrachiolaterales. And from backside, nervus cutaneous antebrachioposterior, which is branch of the radius. But what the specificity of it? Now look to me. If I will draw now cross section of forearm region. First of all, again, let's choose the right extremity. That's again, this will be medial side. That will be the lateral side. And first of all, form of extremity will be written on another. Instead of the ring, I draw the ellipse. Yeah, it has the ellipse shaped form. Again, I don't draw the fat, I don't draw the skin, I draw the proper fascia. And again, it has double layers. Now, instead of 1 bone, I will draw the 2 bones. By the way, medial bone is bigger in upper third. Lateral bone will be bigger in the lower third. Of course, it is ulna. And the second triangle is the radius. Interossal membrane, which is covered them, connect them to each other. And now look to me. Properficial again gives the intermuscular setup, but now single layer. Because this is double bond region. I tell you in single bond region, two layers of intermuscular setup, interfacial space. In region with more than one bond, single. Let's have a look to me. First setup come to the anterior surface of the radius. We call anterior radial intermuscular setup. Second to posterior. What do you see now finally here, guys? 3 instead of 2. 3 compartments. 3 osteofacial compartments. But no any interfacial space. That's a not only muscles will be inside of the compartments, but also muscles. Is it understandable for you? Super. Let's continue. I just again must remind you anatomy. Compartment 1, content of flexor muscles. And these flexor muscles in compartment 1, in upper and middle thirds, have 3 layers, in lower third, 4. Once again, anterior compartment content flexors. In upper and middle third, there are 3 layers of muscles. In the lower third, there are 4 layers of muscles. Now let's draw. Let's draw. Just look, don't draw together with me. Layer 1, 4 muscles. From the lateral to the medial side. Pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi lunaris. Pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi lunaris. Layer number 2, only 1 muscle. Flexor digitorum superficialis. Layer number 3, 2 muscles. Laterally, flexor pollicis longus, medially, flexor digitorum profundus. Same picture you will see on the middle third. Anterior compartment will have 3 muscular layers. Finally, 7 muscles as you see. 4, 2, 1. But in the lower third, situation will be changed. I will clean now these layers. I will draw the second, I will draw the third, and I will draw the fourth. Fourth layer will be presented only by 1 muscle. You know, except this pronator, there are and that pronator. If it is teres, this is quadratus. Let's say we come to conclusion that in the lower third, anterior compartment, instead of 7 contain 8 muscles. By the way, if you attentively look to this picture, you will find that your teacher doesn't connect it, layer number 3 with layer number 4. I leave here some disconnected tissue. Again and again, Piragov's name. We call it the Piragov space. And you know what is the importance of it? Inside of this Piragov space, we have the proximal tips of synovial sheets, which is go to your hand. It is 2 synovial sheets, medially ulnar, which contain 8 tendons, 4 superficial flexors, 4 deep tendon flexors. And it is radial, which contains only 1 tendon. It is the long flexor of the first finger. There's a tips of these both synovial sheets enter inside of this loose connecting. And if they will be inflamed, they can pass inflammation to this fat. And here up to 200 milliliter of the liquid we can have. Pass, of course, that is. Questions? No. Let's come to the lateral compartment. In upper third, it has 2 muscles, superficial and deep. Superficial, it is brachioradialis. As you know, it starts from arm, then cubit, then forearm. Deep one, it is supinator. But you know what is important? In middle and lower third, your supinator will go to the posterior compartment. That's in middle and lower third in space 1 will be only 1 muscle. It is the brachioradialis. If more questions, let's continue. Now we come to posterior compartment, and immediately, either by the way, and here also between second and third muscular layers, I have the deep layer of the proper fissure. In the posterior compartment, I have deep layer of proper fissure between superficial and deep muscular layers. By the way, in upper third, superficial layer contains 5 muscles, deep layer 4 muscles. In the middle and lower, both will have 5 because supinator will come to the deep layer. Which muscles is it? From lateral to medial. Extensor carpi radialis longus, brevis. Extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi radialis. Now let's come to the abductor. Abductor, pollicis longus. By the way, adductor located in femur. Extensor pollicis longus and brevis. Extensor digiti indici. That's all. 4 muscles. Again, I say in middle and lower, also supinator I will have. That's why it will be 5, 5, 10. Let's continue. Okay, but sorry, my work is not finished. Because now between muscles, I must draw neurovascular nerves. And I will show it by white colored points. And first A point, I put between brachioradialis and pronator teres. By the way, guys, in middle and lower third, it will be between brachioradialis and flexor carpi radialis, because pronator will go deep. What is point A? It is sulcus radialis, guys, the radial groove. Again, I say, in upper third, it forms between brachioradialis and pronator teres. In middle and lower third, between brachioradialis and flexor carpi radialis. Why do we call it radial? I think logical to think that it contains radial neurovascular vessels. Arteria vena radialis, ramus superficialis. Don't say just nervus radialis. I told you in cubital region, nervus radialis is finished. It is split into 2 terminal branches, superficial and deep. And here we will have superficial branch. And remember, please, syncope. Laterally, we will have nerve. Medially, we will have vessels. It's important. Hold your hands like this. If it will be 2 vessels, this will be 2 nerves. Radial, ulnar. Radial, ulnar. That's a radial nerve will be laterally to radial vessels, superficial branch of radial. Ulnar nerve will be medially to ulnar vessels. So nerves from sides, vessels between. There's a syncope of this neurovascular bundle. Again, I tell you, superficial branch of the radial nerve located laterally, vessels located medially. Final point projection. You take the midpoint of the cubital fossa, you connect it with styloid process of the radius. In the tip of this styloid process, by the way, like in anatomical snap box, we can make palmated position of the radial artery. Why in anatomical snap box? Because from the radial styloid, it is turned to the back side, and it is come to the anatomical snuff box. From anatomical snuff box, by first interfinger space, it is entered to the our palmar surface, and it is involving formation of arterial arches. As you remember, in your palmar surface, we have 2 arches. Superficial, which is mainly formed by ulnar artery with superficial branch of radial, and deep, which is mainly formed by radial artery with deep branch of the ulnar. From superficial, we have formation of common digital arteries, which is divided into proper. From deep, we have formation of common metacarpial arteries, which doesn't supply anything except formation of anastomose with common digital. Because then you press anything in your fist, superficial arch and these branches can be closed. But deep will provide it the necessary supplement. Do you see how the color of my fingers is changed? It becomes to the white. Why? Because supplement is reduced. But the deep vessels provided enough blood to prevent any necrotization. So remember about it. And let's continue. Second groove, I will draw here, and it will be groove B. You see that groove B, of course it is ulnar groove, I draw deeper. If groove A located between only first layer of muscles, groove B located between first and second layer of muscles. Along all arm region, groove B contains only one structure. It is nervus ulnaris. Here is vessels. Vessels will be in this groove only in middle and lower third. In upper third, they will be absent. Why? Simply, guys, because nerve from cubital region, without changing of its direction, descended into forearm. But vessels come from midpoint of the cubital region, which is the place of the bifurcation. Let's say nerve will be projected in all forearm along this groove. How we make this projection? From medial epicondyle up to the sesamoid bone. But vessels, no. Vessels will be projected by curved line. In middle and lower, it is same projection of the nerve, but in upper, no. Imaginary line from midpoint to the border between upper and middle thirds of the medial surface of forearm. From midpoint of cubital fossa to the border between upper and middle third of medial surface of forearm. After, in the border between forearm and the hand region, you know proper visual forms three canals: canalis carpalis, canalis carpi radialis, canalis carpi ulnaris. Ulnar neurovascular bundle by canalis carpi ulnaris will be directed into the palmar surface of the head. By the canalis carpalis, as you know, synovial tendons, sheaths, and medianus neurovascular bundle will pass. Where is the third one? Third one we call medial neurovascular bundle. As you remember, upper third, inside of the heads of the pronator teres. Middle third, between superficial and deep flexors, strongly by midline. Lower third, inside, look, same name groove. Do you see this groove? This groove you see because I show for you the tendon of palmaris longus muscle. In my hand it's greatly visible, which is covered this groove from in front. How this groove is formed? From medially superficial flexor, from laterally flexor carpi radialis, from in front palmaris longus tendon. We call it sulcus medianus. That's a look, interesting situation. Median neurovascular bundle in each third have unique position. Upper third, heads of pronator teres, middle third, between superficial and deep flexors, lower third, inside of the same name groove. What happen after? Canalis carpalis. By canalis carpalis, it is entered in the palmar surface, and it will give the common digital nerves. As you remember, in palmar surface, ulnaris gives the 1, medianus gives 3. Ulnaris innervated 1.5 of the skin in the medial surface, medianus 3.5 of the skin in the lateral surface. No any radialis, as you can see. You can say, why no radialis? What has happened with superficial branch of radialis, which is passing inside of that? In the border between middle and lower thirds, it is back, goes to this area. That's an in palmar surface, you don't have any radial nerves. All radial nerves go to the back, in the dorsal surface. I explained 3 from 4 neurovascular bundles of anterior thorax. Where is the fourth? Oh, of course, in front of the interossal membrane. In front of interossal membrane, I will have anterior interossal neurovascular bundles. Artery, this branch of the ulnar artery, it gives the common interossal, which is split into anterior nerve. It is from nervus medianus. I say you. Anterior interossal artery gives the arterial branch to nervus medianus. Medianus gives the nerve branch. Friends, this is more than simple. Now let's come to the posterior. Posteriorly, we have one neurovascular bundle. It is the posterior interossal. But in upper third and in middle lower third, position will be different. In upper third, it is strongly in midpoint of between first and second muscular layers. In middle and lower third, it is immediately behind the interossal membrane. It goes from superficially to deep. Tell me why. Why from up to down, it is directed from superficially to deep. Use your brain. Because from up to down, we see what? Reducing of the soft tissues. They cannot protect it. As I go much more deeper to be more protected, to not be damaged. Is it understandable? That's all I finished to speak about all forearm region. You also can, guys, if you will study. Now let's come to hand. Let's come to hand. Borders is more than simple. It has only one upper border, which I show now for you, 2 centimeters above the base of stenoticus. Then by medial and bilateral margins, you provide the imaginary line, you divide it into palmar, and divide it into the dorsal. Let's start to speak about layers. Palmar surface skin, one of the thickest and less movable skins of the human body. A little bit thicker only the skin in the plantar surface of the fruit. Skin is unique, guys. Here we have the reflexogenius zone. Huge amount of the receptors which is make our tactile sensitivity. Huge amount of the glands, especially it is of course sweat glands, which is make wet the surface for good tactile sensitivity formation. Skin doesn't have any hairs. Skin has many folds. By the way, folds is formed in the place of the junction to inner surface of the skin, septas, which is come from fissure. I want to attract your attention into this long groove which is surrounding the thenar region. Upper 1/3, your thenar, surrounded by this groove. I will not speak now about sacral meaning of these grooves. Yeah? You can do it better than me. I will speak about surgical meaning of these grooves. Upper 1/3 of this groove we call Canaver's zone or forbidden zone. It is forbidden to make any surgeries here. Why? Because the nervus medianus gives the motor branch to the muscles of the thenar. You know, all muscles of thenar except 2, it is adductor pollicis longus and it is the deep head of the short flexor. All another supplied by medianus. These 2 supplied by ulnaris. By the way, when we speak about ulnaris and medianus, we must remember that in arm region they doesn't innervate anything. Anterior muscles, musculocutaneous innervating, posterior radialis. They start to work from forearm. In the forearm region, ulnaris innervated flexor carpi ulnaris and the medial part of flexor digitorum. Medianus innervated anything else. What they innervated in palmar serious, superficial branches skin, 1.5, 3.5. Deep branches gives the common digital nerve, 1-3, 1 ulnaris, 3 medianus. Ulnaris innervated thenar muscle, medianus innervated, hypothenar muscle, medianus innervated thenar except 2. Ulnaris innervated intercostal muscles, interossal muscles, medianus lubricated muscles. Asa